Los Angeles, 1971. The Playboy Mansion, Hugh Hefner's legendary estate in Holmby Hills. 29 rooms, 5.5 acres. The most exclusive address in Hollywood. Tonight, like most nights, it's hosting a party. Celebrities, athletes, business titans, beautiful women. This is where power and fame converge. Bruce Lee is there as a guest. He's been to the mansion several times. Hefner appreciates martial arts, respects discipline and mastery. He and Bruce have had philosophical conversations about the parallels between martial arts and business success. Both require dedication. Both demand excellence. Both separate pretenders from legitimate masters. The party is in full swing. Music, conversation, laughter. The grotto pool area glows with underwater lights. The grounds are immaculate. Everything about the mansion screams wealth, and power, and exclusivity. In the main salon, a group has gathered around the pool table. Among them is a man who commands attention through sheer physical presence. Marcus "Tank" Williams, 6'4", 295 pounds, starting defensive tackle for the Los Angeles Rams. 3-time Pro Bowl selection. One of the most dominant players in the NFL. Tank is holding court, telling stories from the season. His voice carries that natural confidence of someone who's never lost a physical confrontation. In professional football, size and strength are everything. Tank has both in overwhelming abundance. He notices Bruce across the room, recognizes him from movies. The Chinese Hercules, they call him in publicity materials. Tank has seen the films. Impressive choreography. But Tank knows choreography isn't reality. He's been in real physical combat, every Sunday, against men who weigh 300 pounds and run like sprinters. Tank's had a few drinks, not drunk, just confident enough to be bold. He calls out across the salon, "Bruce Lee, the Kung Fu master, come play pool with us." Bruce walks over. Friendly. He knows Tank by reputation. Dominant player. Physical force of nature. "I'm not much of a pool player, but I'll watch." Tank grins. That competitive grin athletes get when they smell opportunity. "I heard you're the toughest man in Hollywood. That true?" Bruce smiles. He's heard this before. The challenge beneath the friendly question. "I'm just a martial artist, not competing with anyone. But could you beat me in a real fight?" Tank's question silences the group. Everyone knows what's happening. Now the NFL star is challenging the movie star, testing whether Hollywood fighting is real. Bruce's response is careful, diplomatic. Different contexts. You dominate on a football field. I study martial arts. Not the same thing. Tank isn't satisfied. $50,000 says you couldn't take me down. Real fight. No movie tricks. He pulls out his checkbook, literally, right there at Hugh Hefner's pool table. Writes a check for $50,000. Places it on the felt. The room goes quiet. $50,000 in 1971 is serious money. 6 figures in today's terms. This isn't friendly banter anymore. This is a public bet. A challenge that Bruce can't ignore without looking afraid. Hugh Hefner appears. He's been watching from across the room. This is his home, his party, his guests. He needs to manage this before it becomes a problem. "Gentlemen, let's not turn my party into a betting parlor." Tank looks at Hefner. Respectful, but insistent. "Just friendly competition, Hef. Bruce is famous for being tough. I want to see if it's real or Hollywood." Bruce remains calm. "I don't want to fight anyone, especially not at a party." "Because you know you'd lose," Tank says. It's not aggressive, just matter of fact. The confidence of someone who's never been physically dominated. Hefner sees the situation clearly. Tank has made this public. If Bruce walks away, the story becomes Kung Fu movie star, afraid to test skills against real athlete. If Bruce accepts, someone might get hurt at Hefner's party. Neither option is good. Hefner makes a decision. My private gym, downstairs, away from guests. You want to test this? I do it privately, not spectacle. Tank agrees immediately. Perfect. 7 seconds. I bet I can tackle Bruce to the ground in 7 seconds. 50,000 says I can. Bruce looks at Hefner. This is Hefner's home, his call. Hefner nods. Keep it controlled. No injuries, just demonstration. They move to Hefner's private gym, a fully equipped space in the mansion's lower level. Weights, training equipment, mats. Hefner had it built for his own fitness. Tonight it serves a different purpose. 6 people follow. Hefner, Tank's agent, 2 Playboy executives, a photographer who works for the magazine. Everyone wants to witness this. Hollywood fighting versus NFL power. Tank removes his jacket. His physique is overwhelming. Offensive linemen are big, but defensive tackles are big and fast. Tank benches over 400 pounds. Now runs a 40-yard dash in under 5 seconds. He's a professional athlete in his physical prime. Bruce is wearing casual clothes, fitted shirt, slacks. No preparation, no warm-up. Just standing on the gym mats looking completely relaxed. Rules? Bruce asks. I try to tackle you, like football, full speed, full contact. You try to stop me, 7 seconds. If I get you on the ground, I win 50,000. If you're still standing, you win. Tank is grinning. He knows physics. 295 pounds moving at full speed creates force that 140 pounds can't resist. Hefner looks concerned. Bruce, you don't have to do this. It's fine, Bruce responds. 7 seconds. Demonstration. Before we continue this incredible Playboy Mansion encounter, if you're fascinated by these celebrity and athlete confrontations that happen behind closed doors, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. These are the stories that happened at the most exclusive parties, witnessed by the most powerful people, never meant to be public. Now let's see what happened when NFL power met martial arts mastery. Tank positions himself. He's done this thousands of times. Line up, explode forward, drive through the target. It's what he does every Sunday against offensive linemen who outweigh him. This small Chinese man doesn't stand a chance. Hefner counts down. 3, 2, 1, go. Tank explodes forward. His acceleration is frightening. 0 to full speed in 2 steps. Professional athletic explosiveness. His arms reach forward. Standard tackle form. Wrap up. Drive through. Finish. Bruce doesn't retreat. Doesn't try to run. Just stands there, watching Tank approach, reading his movement. At the last possible instant, Bruce moves. Not backward. Sideways. 45 degrees. Tank's reaching arms close on empty air. His momentum carries him past where Bruce was standing. Tank adjusts mid-motion. He's an elite athlete. He can change direction. His foot plants. He pivots. Redirects toward Bruce. Still fast. Still powerful. Bruce's hand touches Tank's extended arm. Light contact. A pressure point between the bicep and tricep. Tank feels sudden weakness. His arm, which should be grabbing Bruce, can't respond properly. 3 seconds have elapsed. Tank tries again. Lower this time. He drops his level. Goes for legs. A rugby-style tackle. Nobody stays standing when you take out their legs. Bruce's positioning changes. He steps into Tank's tackle, not away from it. The angle is perfect. As Tank commits low, Bruce's knee comes up. Not a strike, just positioning. His knee meets Tank's shoulder. Not hard, just enough to redirect the tackle's momentum. Tank's 295-pound frame, moving at full speed, gets redirected. The force he generated to tackle Bruce instead sends him past Bruce. He crashes into the padded gym wall. 5 seconds. Tank stands up. He's not hurt, just confused. How did a 140-pound man redirect his NFL-level tackle? Twice. He's tackled running backs who weigh 220 pounds. Bruce weighs 140. The physics should be simple. Again, Tank says. His competitive pride won't let him stop. He charges one more time. No technique now. Just overwhelming force. If he can get hands on Bruce, his strength advantage will finish it. Now Bruce waits. Tank is bigger, faster in straight lines, more powerful. But Bruce has spent 30 years studying how to make those advantages irrelevant. Reading intention, understanding momentum, using opponent's force against itself. Tank's hands reach for Bruce. Close, almost there. Bruce's movement is minimal, just enough to make Tank's grab miss by inches. Then Bruce's hand touches Tank's wrist. Another pressure point. Tank's grip strength disappears momentarily. 7 seconds. Time expires. Tank hasn't gotten Bruce on the ground, hasn't even managed to establish a grip. The $50,000 bet is lost. Tank stands there, breathing hard, not from exhaustion, from mental effort. He just applied NFL-level tackling technique against a 140-pound man. Failed completely. Nothing in his athletic career prepared him for this. The witnesses are silent. They've watched Tank Williams dominate offensive linemen, tackle running backs, overpower professional athletes. Tonight, against a movie star half his size, he couldn't land a single tackle in 7 seconds. Hefner breaks the silence. Gentlemen, that was remarkable. Bruce, I've never seen anything like that. Tank is processing. His entire understanding of physical confrontation is being recalibrated. What did you do? To my arms? They stopped working. Pressure points. Nerve clusters where temporary strikes disrupt muscle function. Not permanent, not damaging, just momentary control. Teach me. Tank's competitiveness has shifted. He doesn't want to beat Bruce anymore. He wants to learn from him. Bruce looks at Hefner. Your gym is excellent. Would you mind if I show Tank some techniques? Hefner is delighted. Please, this is fascinating. For the next 90 minutes, in Hugh Hefner's private gym, Bruce Lee teaches basic Jeet Kune principles to an NFL Pro Bowl defensive tackle. The 6 witnesses watch as Bruce explains leverage, timing, pressure points, using opponent's momentum. Tank absorbs everything. He's an elite athlete. He understands body mechanics. But Bruce is showing him mechanics he never knew existed. Ways of moving that make size and strength secondary to positioning and timing. In football, Bruce explains, you use your mass and power because that's what the game rewards. But in combat without rules, mass and power have limitations. Someone who understands those limitations can neutralize them. Tank practices the techniques. Now his athletic coordination helps him grasp concepts quickly. He won't master Jeet Kune in 90 minutes, but he understands the principles, sees why they work. The photographer who followed them to the gym asks Hefner if he should document this. Hefner shakes his head. Some things should stay private. This is between Bruce and Tank. When the session ends, Tank writes another check. Not for $50,000, for $5,000. Hands it to Bruce. Training fee. I want to continue learning. Can I come to your school? Bruce accepts. Of course, this is what martial arts should be. Athletes from different disciplines learning from each other. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we have more exclusive mansion and celebrity encounters coming that prove Bruce Lee's reputation extended into the most elite circles. Drop a comment about what surprised you most. Now let's see the lasting impact of this Playboy Mansion encounter. Tank Williams becomes a regular student at Bruce's Junfan Gung Fu Institute. He trains 3 times a week during the off-season, applies the principles to his football training. His coaches notice improvements, better balance, better body positioning, better ability to shed blocks and redirect offensive linemen. Tank's teammates ask questions. "You're training with that kung fu guy?" Tank's response is consistent. "He's the real deal, not movie choreography, real combat effectiveness. Changed how I understand physical confrontation." Other NFL players get curious. Tank invites them to watch Bruce's classes. Some start training. The reputation spreads through professional sports. Bruce Lee teaches Tank Williams. If it's good enough for a Pro Bowl tackle, it's legitimate. Hefner tells the story selectively, at private gatherings, among trusted friends. "I watched Bruce Lee neutralize an NFL player in 7 seconds without throwing a punch. Most incredible physical demonstration I've ever witnessed." The $50,000 check Tank wrote exists somewhere. Hefner kept it, never cashed. It's a museum piece. Documentation of the night an NFL star bet he could tackle a movie star and lost decisively. The photographer who was there took no pictures, respected Hefner's decision, but he told the story to other photographers. "You should have seen it. Tank Williams, full speed, couldn't even touch Bruce Lee. Physics doesn't work the way we think." Years later, when Tank retired from football, he continued training martial arts and opened his own gym, taught defensive lineman techniques he learned from Bruce. "Football makes you strong and explosive, but Bruce taught me that strength and explosiveness need intelligence directing them." The lesson from that 7-second demonstration influenced how Tank approached his entire career. Not just football, business, life, relationships. Bruce showed me that being the biggest and strongest doesn't mean you're in control. Understanding mechanics, timing, leverage, that's what creates control. When Bruce died in 1973, Tank was devastated. He'd been training with Bruce for 2 years, considered him not just a teacher, but a friend. He changed my entire understanding of what physical mastery means. Not dominating through size, excelling through understanding. Tank attended Bruce's funeral. One of the few professional athletes there. He stood in the back, didn't speak publicly, just paid respects to the man who taught him that his NFL career, while successful, had been operating with incomplete knowledge of human physical potential. The Playboy Mansion encounter became legend in certain circles. Athletes who trained with Tank heard the story. Martial artists who learned about Bruce's teaching methods referenced it. Tank Williams bet $50,000 he could tackle Bruce Lee in 7 seconds. Lost decisively, then became Bruce's student. The story illustrates something important about Bruce's approach. He didn't humiliate Tank, didn't gloat about winning, immediately shifted to teaching, turned competition into education, made an NFL star's ego-driven challenge into a learning opportunity. That generosity, and that willingness to teach rather than dominate, created lasting impact. Tank became an ambassador for martial arts within professional sports. He told other athletes, "It's not about kung fu being better than football. It's about understanding human movement at a deeper level than any single sport teaches." The 7 seconds at the Playboy Mansion changed Tank's career trajectory, made him think about efficiency instead of just power, integration instead of specialization, understanding instead of just applying force. Hugh Hefner sometimes referenced the incident in interviews, never naming Tank directly, just describing it as one of the most impressive physical demonstrations I've witnessed in my home. An NFL player at his physical peak couldn't land a single clean tackle against someone half his size. And not because the smaller man was stronger, because he understood principles the athlete had never encountered. The lesson echoes through professional sports, even today. Athletes who train martial arts aren't abandoning their sport. They're expanding their understanding of human physical potential, learning principles that make their sport-specific training more effective. Tank Williams never won a Super Bowl, but he had a successful 13-year career, made 3 Pro Bowls, earned millions, retired healthy. He credits martial arts training with extending his career. Better body awareness, better injury prevention, better understanding of when to use power and when to use intelligence. The $50,000 bet was serious money. Tank could have refused to pay after losing. Nobody would have enforced it. But he paid immediately. That wrote the check, handed it to Bruce, then asked to become a student. That willingness to admit defeat and pursue learning represents the highest expression of athletic character. Tank's ego wanted to prove NFL toughness. Tank's intelligence recognized an opportunity to grow. Los Angeles, 1971. Playboy Mansion. An NFL star bet he could tackle a martial arts instructor in 7 seconds. Lost comprehensively. Then spent 90 minutes learning why his strength and size meant nothing against someone who understood leverage, timing, and pressure points. 7 seconds that changed a professional athlete's career. Not through humiliation, through education, not through domination, through demonstration and then generous teaching. The encounter at the Playboy Mansion represents what martial arts training should be. Not proving one system superior to another, not demonstrating that martial artists can beat athletes, showing that different types of physical training develop different capabilities, and integration creates something greater than specialization. Tank Williams learned that lesson in 7 seconds, spent the rest of his career applying it, became better at football not by abandoning football training, but by supplementing it with understanding from a completely different discipline. That's Bruce Lee's lasting impact. Not that Kung Fu beats football. That understanding human movement at the deepest level transcends any single application. Whether you're tackling quarterbacks or defending yourself on the street, the principles are the same. Leverage, timing, efficiency, using minimum force for maximum effect. 7 seconds. But $50,000. 1 NFL star's education. The night Bruce Lee demonstrated to Hugh Hefner's exclusive guests that mastery comes not from size and power, but from understanding how to make size and power irrelevant.